In the saint, there exists nothing that is trivial, nothing coarse, nothing base, nothing affected or fake, nothing insincere. In him is the culmination of delicacy, sensibility, transparency, purity, reverence, and attention before the mystery of his fellow men comes into his actual being, for he brings this forth from his communication with the Supreme Person, God. The saint grasps the various conditions of the soul in others and avoids all that would upset them, although he does not avoid helping them overcome their weaknesses. He reads the least articulate needs of others and fulfills it promptly, just as he reads their impurities also, however skillfully hidden, and through the delicate power of his own purity, exercising upon them a purifying action.
That there's just something about them that they can look at you and they can just uncover all of your falsehood, uncover all your fakeness, that they just seem to have this sense of who you really are and what you really need. And it's not just about uncovering sin in your life, but it's also reaching out to you and just recognizing that you have a need.
He will have the action of purifying your life as well.
Right, yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
From the saint there continually radiates a spirit of self-giving and of sacrifice for the sake of all, with no concern for himself, a spirit that gives warmth to others and assures them that they are not alone. And yet there is no one more humble, more simple, less artificial, less theatrical or hypocritical, no one more natural in his behavior, accepting all that is truly human and creating an atmosphere that is pure and familiar. The saint has overcome any duality within himself, as St. Maximus the Confessor put it. He has overcome the struggle between soul and body, the divergence between good intentions and deeds that do not correspond to them, between deceptive appearance and the hidden thoughts, between what claims to be the case and what is the case. He has become simple, therefore, because he has surrendered himself entirely to God. That is why he can surrender himself entirely in communication with others.
The 5 divisions within the human being that Jesus Christ overcomes, that we overcome through Christ, through this becoming holy, through this purifying of ourselves, through this becoming a saint, we overcome those divisions within ourselves, and then our lives become a help and a way for other people to overcome that division within themselves. And it's all about communion. It's all about being in communion with one another through Christ, through God. And it goes back to what St. Augustine said, solo Christian is no Christian.
Yes.
Everything in our salvation is about relationships. We cannot be saved alone. And the saint is the one who has communion with God, and through communion with God has communion with other people, as imperfect and as much of a sinner as they may be.
The saint always lends courage. At times, though a humor marked by the same delicacy, he shrinks the delusions created by fears or pride or the passions. He smiles but does not laugh sarcastically. He is serious but not frightened. He finds value in the most humble persons, considering them to be great mysteries created by God and destined to eternal communion with Him. Through humility, the saint makes himself almost unobserved, but he appears when there is a need for consolation, for encouragement or help. For him, no difficulty is insurmountable, because he believes firmly in the help of God sought through prayer. He is the most human and humble of beings, yet at the same time of an appearance that is unusual and amazing, and gives rise in others to the sense of discovering in him, and in themselves too, what is truly human. He is a presence simultaneously most dear and unintentionally most impressing, the one who draws the most attention. For you, he becomes the most intimate one of all and the most understanding. You never feel more at ease than near him, yet at the same time he forces you into a corner and makes you see your moral inadequacies and failings. He overwhelms you with the simple greatness of his purity and with the warmth of his goodness, and makes you ashamed of how far you have fallen away from what is truly human, of how far you have sunk in your impurity artificiality, superficiality, and duplicity, for these appear in sharp relief in comparison you make unwillingly between yourself and Him.